Is this thing on? Welcome back to Big Mouth and fancy seeing you here, and you are very, very welcome, my friends, and welcome to a very hectic morning here in Cyprus, here on Big Mouth. And right now, there's so much to talk about, isn't there, with James Gunn and the DCEU. But this time, I'm talking about Kevin Feige saying, wait for it, Captain Marvel has a weakness. What? What? Did I blink and miss it in the film? Did I? Was it not there? And listen, this is the funniest thing ever, because he says that the Captain Marvel origin movie wasn't the place to display this movie. So it's time for old Mickey Boy, yeah, that's my name, it's time for old Mickey Boy to translate all of this. Basically, the fallout from what Brie Larson has been saying for months hasn't affected the box office, but has affected the perception of Marvel Studios, Disney, and the MCU. And the blowback has been so hard that they've had to be very political, in a non-political way, if you like. So, the announcement of James Gunn coming back was pushed forward. They forced out an Avengers Endgame trailer. It's all distractive tactics to try and bring some positivity to the franchise. But this is the biggest evidence. I believe, right, they had no intention of giving her a weakness. But I think because of the blowback, they've decided that maybe in Endgame, we will see her weakness. So this is really, really interesting. So this is why he's kind of saying, well, the movie wasn't the right place to display that weakness. Of course it was. An origin movie is the perfect place. Lex Luthor shoves kryptonite with a big necklace thing in Superman the movie on Superman's neck, right? So we know he's allergic to kryptonite. That it's his weakness, right? Every origin film must display important aspects about the superhero. So, I'm sorry, Mr. Feige, that doesn't work for me, right? It absolutely ridiculous. But what does encourage me is that they're obviously reacting now to the negativity. And we're not talking about a little bit of negativity here. We're talking about a poisonous atmosphere surrounding this film, something that's never happened for an MCU film before. I mean, Iron Man 3 really upset die-hard Iron Man comic book fans, but it was still a really fun movie, and they kind of got away with that. I mean, the Mandarin is a great villain, and they turn him into a big joke. But the film, it's not a bad film. It's very enjoyable. It's fun. And that's why they got away with it. And obviously, everyone was so in love with the first Avengers movie, they kind of forgave them. But this is something else, because really, the poisonous atmosphere has nothing to do with Captain Marvel as a film. It has more to do with her as a character in comics, because Carol Danvers isn't exactly the most popular Marvel character. Do you know what I mean? And I think people kind of mystified why she was getting a film. Why she was getting a film before Black Widow. None of it made sense. And then Larson's comment publicly, just that created a poisonous kind of atmosphere. And I think people will calm down now because of Guardians of the Galaxy, because of that trailer they released. And all of a sudden there's more of a positivity back into the franchise. But I just think it's embarrassing for him to say, the movie wasn't the right place to display her weakness. So he's actually said this. She has got a weakness. I'd love to know what you think about that. Are you happy she's going to get a weakness? I think the Mary Sue accusation was there. And I think it would have been rightly there. That this superhero just comes out. She's all powerful with no weakness. Every superhero, even overpowered Superman, has a weakness. And if overpowered Superman can have a weakness, every superhero should have a weakness. But to say it shouldn't have been displayed in that movie is an absolute joke to me. So please comment down below and let me know what you think. Are you happy she's got a weakness? Are you unhappy? Do you believe this is because of the blowback and the negative atmosphere around this film, that they're trying to sort out a situation where maybe she's less hated? The problem is, whether you're a man or a woman, I'd say about 65% of MCU fans, if they were honest, don't particularly like Brie Larson. Die-hard Marvel Comics fans don't really like Brie Larson. But you know what? You don't really have to like her if her character's good, if it's being done properly. And I think even though the film is nowhere near even the top kind of 7 MCU films. It's still an okay, enjoyable kind of origin story. It's not the greatest, and the reason is that there's not much there because her origin is so good, especially in this film, but they didn't use it to give her a character, to give her personality, and I think this is where the film falls flat on its face. And I tell you what, more often than not, Marvel origin films, it's not just Captain Marvel, are just not that memorable. And that's a shame, and I think that's something that Feige really has to look at. Because I'm just wondering, and I've discussed this before, how long the consumer will keep on coming back for films that really are forgettable and you don't remember them after they've gone. I mean, Guardians of the Galaxy is probably the most memorable kind of origin film, if you like, because it is. For those characters, it's an origin film. And that's probably their most memorable one. It's the best one they've done. And congratulations to James Gunn for doing that, putting everything into that origin. But when you take an origin story of a character, no matter how popular or unpopular they are, and you don't make it memorable and you don't get people excited, you do have a problem. Spider-Man Homecoming was a big problem. And I believe that Spider-Man Far From Home will have the same issue. So please let me know. That's it for this video. Please let me know what you think of this, and I'll see you again for the next video.